Hey everybody, El Cheapo Deluxe here. Welcome to the good life. Hey everybody, El Cheapo Deluxe here. How y'all doing today? I'm doing great, thanks for asking. Listen, I got a couple of handguns here I want to compare to each other. These are both guns. One of them I've had for a long time. The other one I picked up about a month or so ago, maybe 2 months ago. But I want to kind of put them against each other and tell you what I think about them, give you a little bit of specs on each one, let you decide which one you want. Maybe you want both. I don't have anything really against either one. So let me show you what I got here. First of all, I have got a Canik METE SF. I've had this for a few years. Let's see, serial number starts with a 24, so I've had it since 2024. So first of all, let me show you that it is empty. Nothing in the magazine, nothing in the gun. It is completely empty, nothing in there at all. That being said, safety first as always. Let's point that thing in a safe direction and pull the trigger. Okay, it is clear. Second gun I want to show you is a Glock 19 Generation 6. Got tongue-tied there for a minute, almost forgot what gun it was. But it is also empty. Nothing in the gun, nothing in the magazine. Open it up. Yep, empty, nothing in there. Safety first is always there too, so let's point it away and pull that trigger just to make sure it's clear. Let's do that one more time. And you can see that there is nothing in there. Okay, let me tell you a little bit about these guns. I had this Canik for, like I said, since 2024, so a couple years, going on 3 years, something like that. One of my favorite guns. Probably my favorite for the longest time, except for the new one I just picked up, which I think is going to be my new favorite, and that's the Canik Rival SFX. Anyway, let me tell you a little bit about this gun. It is, of course, a 9mm. Came with case, and anybody that's got a Canik, you know that the case that comes in is a fairly nice case. Came with two 15-round magazines. It was optic ready. I did put the Holosun red dot on there. Came with the trigger lock, optic ready, like I said, but I think it only came with two plates for the optics. I think they come with three now, I'm not sure. Come with a little pew-pew toolkit that you get with all your Caniks. Came with a brass brush, brass bore brush, push rod. I don't know what else you call it. I call it a push rod. You know, you put the cloth in it and run it through. Came with, I want to say two extra back straps, but I'm not sure. Maybe just one extra back strap. Came with this nice magwell that I put on there, and I really like that magwell. What else? It came with the speed loader, a punch, and a holster. Holster ain't much to talk about, but you know, it's a holster. You use it inside the waistband, and it's also got the paddle on it, so you know, it would do for somebody who didn't have a holster, I guess, but I'm not, you know, much on Canik holster. Now, the Rival holster is pretty decent. Okay, now to this Glock. It is still empty. This Glock came in a case. Came with three 15-round magazines, three optic plates, because it was optic ready also. This is a Generation 6. I didn't know if I told you or not. Came with your the cable lock. It did come with a nylon bore brush, 2 extra back straps, speed loader. Of course, they both come with a speed loader, and they just stay in the box because I like my up Lula, so there's no point in even talking about it, really. Didn't come with a holster. But anyway, let's compare these two. You look at them side by side, they're really similar in size. I think the Glock may be a little bit smaller. The barrel length, I think the Canik's got like a 4.19 inch barrel, and the Glock's 4.02 inch. They both hold 15 rounds in the magazine. Of course, you can get, you know, extended mags or whatever you want for it. I got to tell you, this also came with an Allen wrench. Stars, whatever the size is, it's not a 10 like everything else. It's I'm not really sure what size it is. It's kind of a Glock thing. But to tell you the truth, I never really liked Glocks before. I just thought they was uncomfortable. You know, the grip texture wasn't that great. I just didn't like them. Everybody raves about them. Everybody says they're reliable, and they are. They're a really reliable gun. They're well built. I just never really cared for it, especially, you know, that Glock trigger. But all right, let's put these in comparison. They are both pretty close to the same length. I think you got another, it looks like about a ½ inch longer on the Canik. Widths are about the same. The heights, how tall they are, it's really close to each other. Now the weight is going to be different on these, quite a bit different, just because of the flashlight and the sights. But yeah, there's a difference in the weight too. I think the Glock with an empty magazine is like 4.2 ounces, or no, not 4.2 ounces. I don't know what the hell I'm saying here. It was 20 ounces or something. Anyway, let's put it on the scale. And this is going to give you a good idea with the empty magazine. Now, mind you, it's going to add some weight because of the flashlight and the red dot on there. So I don't know what the weight is on those, but we're going to take a look and see what this scale says. Okay. With the empty magazine and the optic and the flashlight, it is 1.11 pounds, which isn't terrible. You know, the weight's more on that flashlight than it is anything else. This is a little bit heavier, this Canik. Flashlight's not as heavy as that one, I don't think, but let's put it on the scale and see what it weighs with the empty magazine. 1 pound 15 ounces. 1 pound 15 ounces, 0.1. 1 pound 15.1 ounces. So, and this one was 1 pound 11 ounces. So 4 ounces difference. It's really not a lot of difference. Now, the Glocks come a long way since Generation 5. Specifically, the stippling has got so much better on this. It's across the back, across the front, across the side. It's more aggressive. Like the beaver tail is a little bit different, so it even the shape with the and the extra back straps you get with it makes a big difference. So it is a fairly comfortable gun now. Like I said, I didn't used to like them. The trigger's better as far as the feel of the trigger. The weight of the trigger didn't get any better with that, but you know, it's still pretty good. I think they made the serrations deeper on the slides. Now the sights on this, you got a front white dot and the outlined back sight. I call it a U dot. I'm really not sure. I don't think it's a U because the U would be rounded, I guess. Yeah, you know what I'm saying. But it's not bad. Let's see, what else is the difference in them? Side by side, you can see that the slide locks are different. This has got the longer slide lock on it here, which I prefer. The takedown levers, or takedown buttons, whatever you want to call them, I prefer it on the Canik just because it's easier to get a hold of. This one's kind of a little tough on the fingers when you do it, but you know, it's still easy. The one thing on the optic plate on the Canik, I think they're making them now to where they fit the arm, whatever it is, RMRC, whatever. But I had to file down 2 of the pins on the optic plate in order to fit this side on there. It wasn't a big deal. I could have ordered one, but I wasn't going to use the other one anyway, so I just filed down 2 of the things on it. So all in all, this shoots well. Never had an issue with it. Not one misfeed or failure to fire, failure to return the battery, no jam ups, not one issue. Got well over 1,500 rounds through this, I believe. I mean, it's, like I said, I've had it a while, and it was my favorite handgun, so I would shoot this a lot. Optic works fine. It holds 0, but we're not here to talk about the optic or the flashlight. You can get extended magazines for this. I've got some 20 round magazines. 20 round magazines for this. You don't get as many, there's not as many accessories available for the Canik METE SF. There is for some of the other Caniks, but for this one, holsters are hard to find for it. I did buy when I first got it, I got a leather holster for it, but man, actually it was for a Glock 19, older generation Glock 19, and it fit in there perfect. Just once you put the optic on there, the holster was kind of no good anymore, but it looked good. It looked good. It was, I don't remember what brand it was. It was a leather one, but anyway. Okay. The grip texture on this is really good. It doesn't come up here around where the thumb is, but you give a little bit for it, but it still feels good in your hand, especially with that flared mag well. Really adds to it. The Glock got that grip texture all the way up there. It is much better than what they used to be. I used to hate Glocks. Mainly because of the trigger on them. The trigger weight still kind of sucks, but I can fix that with another trigger, which I probably will. But them going with that flat trigger, it really made a difference. But yeah, shoots good. They're reliable. Haven't had any issues with this, but I've only had it a month or 2, so. But I really don't think I'm gonna have any issues with it. Now the plates that came with this for the optic fit perfect for the optic I bought, which is an Olight, or Osight, made by Olight. The only thing I really don't care is the length of the optic area for this. I don't know what you call it, the cutout, I guess. The optic doesn't, it just looks a little off, looks a little odd because you got those openings, but I can deal with that. It's not a big deal. The sights really aren't tall enough to co-witness. This one, you can co-witness with the sights. They're a little bit taller, but I think well, I guess the optic's about the same height. So yeah, you can co-witness with these sights. All in all, comfort, reliability, I think they're both, I'm not going to say equal. I still prefer the way this one feels in my hand just because of that mag well. Reliability, I think they're both going to be about the same as each other. Yeah, I'm just rambling and just talking and trying to really talk up that Canik because I like my Caniks, and I didn't like Glocks for the longest time. We got a 43X also that it's a nice little gun. It's reliable. It's easy to conceal. It's still got that old Glock feel to it. So that's that. What you gonna do about it? Not my gun anyway. And it has a horrible trigger. It really does. It doesn't have a flat trigger. It's got the one that kind of hurts your finger a little bit. But anyway, like I said, between these two, I think I still like Canik better. That trigger, the Canik triggers, I think it's one of the best triggers out of the box you can get. They're fantastic. I think this one, as many rounds I put through it, I think it started out around, I never really measured the trigger weight on it when I first got it, but I think I think it's down around like 3.5 to 3.8 pounds now on the trigger pull, so it helped. This one's at 4.5. No, I'm sorry, not 4.5. It is at 5.5, 5.2 to 5.5. But I think it's gonna come down to, like I said, the beaver tail on it. They did improve that beaver tail, so your hand fits up really nice in there. The trigger guard on the Canik, you got a bigger trigger guard, which I like. But you know, without gloves, I think just as good. If you're gonna wear gloves, this Canik, it's gotta be better. I don't wear gloves too often. Doesn't get cold enough here in southern Louisiana to put gloves on. But yeah, side by side, they're fairly equal to each other as far as size. Like I said, this one's got a little bit more length on it, but doesn't make a difference. The width, pretty much the same on the width. The height, pretty much the same. That grip on the Glock is just so much better than the old Glocks. So this is actually a carry pistol now too. I will carry it. I don't carry this one as much as I used to, but that doesn't have to do with the gun. It just has to do that I got the Canik Prime, the MC9 Prime. So I'll carry that one over this one. This one I'll carry. The MC, it conceals well. That's another thing about the Glocks, man. There's so many aftermarket parts and accessories for it. You can get just about anything you want. The only thing I haven't been able to find yet is the holster for this particular flashlight. They make it for a holster for like a Streamlight. Man, and I'm wanting to order one because I can always send it back, you know, if I buy it on Amazon, just to see if this is going to fit in it. I'm not sure, so it's worth a shot, so I think that's what I'm going to do. Anyway, they both got the ambidextrous slide locks, takedown levers. You switch out the mag release to both sides. Mag releases are pretty much the same. Not much difference in them. They do come out. The one thing about the Glock, though, you know, the mag release, it's a little bit more recessed, but I'm sure you can do some adjustments to that. I think the reason why it's lighter with magazines, these magazines are polymer, so it's a lot lighter magazine, but shoot, you know, the biggest difference is what you get in the package. What comes with it. This one comes with so much more. So much more that you probably won't use it all anyway. You won't use the stuff like the speed loader I don't use, trigger locks I don't use. What else did I use? The back straps. Don't use anymore because I switched them out for the ones I want. So I got a couple of useless back straps unless I sell the gun at one time or another, which this one is never being sold. I can tell you that right now. This one probably won't either. Made me a fan of Glocks. I didn't used to be, but I am now. Big difference. Y'all know price. Glocks are proud of their guns. $629, I think, for the what I paid for this. But you know, it did come with 3 magazines. Magazines are a lot cheaper on this. You can buy aftermarket magazines for about, I don't know, $16, $17, $18 for a 15 round mag. I did pick up a couple mag pulls at Academy. They're decent magazines. Haven't had an issue with them. So yeah, your accessories are going to be maybe a little cheaper for a Glock, but for what you get with the Canik, you don't need a whole lot of accessories. Aftermarket stuff, maybe, you know, like your optic, your flashlight, some extra magazines. Like I said, I bought 2 extra 15 round. I bought 2 extra 15 round magazines for this. 2 20 round magazines for this. I like the color. Color's nice. It's a good looking gun. Yeah, I'm getting off track from what I'm trying to tell you. But the Canik magazines, if you buy they're expensive if you want, you know, the OEM. But yeah, now I'm rambling, trying to think of other things I wanted to say. The sights are good on both of them. The iron sights, both pretty good. Yeah. Turkish made in Austria. So, you know, they're both not made in the USA, but not a killer. Okay, so back to price. $629 for what came in that box. This one here, $489. So far as value, man, you can't beat a Canik for what they give you and what they do with their guns, because they're really well-built guns, especially them triggers. To get a trigger like this, you're spending another $150 on that Glock to switch out the trigger, and then you got to switch it out. This one came with it. Now, can you buy better triggers for this? Sure. But as far as out of the box triggers, I don't think you're going to get a better trigger on any gun you buy for that price. You know, it's not a 1911, so you're not going to get a 1911 trigger. You're getting a Canik trigger, but man, you can't beat it. Anyway, I just kind of wanted to compare the two, give you guys some food for thought. Either one, good handgun, especially since they redesigned that Glock. I really like what they changed on it. So, still my favorite out of these two. It's just not a carry pistol anymore. This one's more for home defense now. This one I'll carry. It conceals well. This one might also conceal well. It's just a little heavier. It might conceal well if you could get the right holster for it, but like I said, holsters for these are kind of tough to find. Probably find one if I was to switch out the light, but I like these lights. They're rechargeable. O-light makes a good flashlight. So anyway, like, share, subscribe, leave a comment, come back and see me, check out some of my other videos. I really appreciate you checking out my channel. I'm never going to get rich off of it, but getting ready to retire, so it's just another hobby. Getting ready to look into doing some competitive shooting with that rival I've got, so there's another hobby. Yeah. Again, don't know what else to say. I just like talking to y'all. So check out my channel, please. Check out my other videos. If you haven't subscribed, please do. and leave a comment. Tell me what you think about either one of these guns, if you've got one of them, what you like about one versus the other. Like I said, they're, as far as size, they're pretty equal. Reliability, probably just as equal. But yeah, you all take care and be safe. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. It really helps.